Mike Dell's World, number 186.
Don't bend the space-time continuum for me, babe.
Quit screwing around with that thing. You found Mike Dell's World. And you have. And I am the aforementioned Mike Dell. Anyway, wow, it's been a while since I've played that intro. I guess that's all right, because really haven't been podcasting a lot on this feed, as I keep saying every dang time I do. But anyway, I just thought I'd throw one together today. I even got a song. Of course, it's a song I played a long time ago, but I'll play it again. Why not? I've been busy rearranging the studio. Of course, I said that about a month and a half ago, and it just seems like everything's been kind of in a topsy-turvy mode around here. It just seems like every day there's something going on that prevents me from getting to these projects. But that's soon coming to an end, almost to the end of the semester at college. I've been taking a few college classes, and I think I've got my taste of it. I'm not going to take any next semester, I don't think. I think I'm going to take the semester off and concentrate on some money-making projects and some podcasting projects and other things like that. But yeah, the studio redesign and set up. Well, I want to set it up for video. I don't want to, I'm not going to do this show in video, as I've said before. But I want to do Geek of the North in video, and I'd like to do the Aviation History This Week podcast. I'd like to do that one in video. Video and audio. I'll always have an audio feed, but I want to do a video feed. And I do want to throw up some stuff on the Mike Dell's World video. Kind of rebranding things. As you know, my audio catch-all feed has always been the Radio Mike Dell feed. And, well, I just kind of called the radio or the website that now. The show, of course, will always be Mike Dell's World. But it's all going to be branded under Radio Mike Dell, because I'm putting all my audios, not on this, well, I don't know, it depends on what feed you're listening to, I guess. But I'll have one feed for Mike Dell's World and another feed for Radio Mike Dell, although they'll both say Radio Mike Dell. But you'll only get these in the one feed, and you'll get everything else in the other feed, including these. I don't know. I'm confused. Maybe I'll have to rethink all that again and just have one feed over here with all the audio in it and another feed for all the video. I don't know. Can't tell from my voice. I got a bit of a cold. Actually, hopefully on the end of it, I don't feel too bad. I do have a little bit of a scratchy voice that's left over from the phlegm fest that was this week. But, it's going good. Hey, a couple of things. I guess you did hear in the last episode there, as I was coming back from Texas. I got all recovered from that. And let's see, we had our Thanksgiving get-together. And like I said, just been going to school and just trying to keep up. Other than that, ate way too much at Thanksgiving, as most of us in the United States tend to do. And I'm getting on a kick here. Starting Monday. I know all good things start on Monday. But anyway, I'm starting on Monday on a new thing, but I'll talk about that after the song. Wanted to play one of my favorite artists, PodSafe artists from way back when, Little Tom. I haven't played any of his stuff, and he hasn't come out with any new stuff lately, so I don't know. I'm going to have to sort of recycle some of this, but I wanted to play Inside Joke. That kind of reminds me of a Jimmy Buffett tune, and reminds me of somebody very prominent in my life. But I'm not going to talk about that. Anyway, here's Inside Joke by Little Tom.
Well, here's a little story, oh, you might have heard it, then again you might have not, or if you did, you didn't get it. By getting it, I mean if I'm not going too fast, that you didn't get the point. You got the shaft, oh, that's the way it goes. You row your boat down a stream against the current of your own little moat. There's always land in sight, so you wiggle and you waddle overboard into the creek with the short end of the paddle, and oh my, baby, no, you're not completely nuts, you're only very crazy. Here's a mirror, have a smoke, aren't you glad that you awoke? Way outside of that inside joke. Oh, there's a ringing and a banging and a knocking and a popping. Oh, the noises in your head, oh, they're really something. You got your own genetic talk show up there. You got your own fingerprint and your own blank stare. It's a ring, a bang, a zip, a thud. There's 100 pinball tables having orgies in your head. And just when you find some quiet and you think you won the battle, there's a little baby playing with your death rattle. And oh my, baby, no, you're not completely nuts. I know it's very noisy. It's your face against the spokes of the wheel where you poked your head outside of that inside joke. So good and it felt so right. You bought a couple diamonds and you had a wedding night. You just don't understand it, it all started out so easy. It's a many splendid thing, this procreation of the species. It all started long ago when nothing got distracted and a whole lot of accidental something got enacted. Of course it came from nothing, we'll go back from where it came. They should have worn a prophylactic for that first big bang. And oh my, baby, if we're not completely nuts and we're all very crazy, we keep tugging at the yoke, going for broke. Way outside of that inside joke. And there's no punchline, we keep scratching our heads, bouncing through religions and bouncing through beds, bouncing off the walls of our planetary ward, sifting through the laughs where the last one's stored. Oh, that little baby spits on your head, pees in your face, shits in your bed, shakes that rattle, laughs till it chokes. So I think that little baby knows the inside joke. Oh my, baby, no, you're not completely nuts. Oh no, you're not crazy. We all do the backstroke, cause all our water broke right inside of that inside joke. Well, here's a little story, oh, you might have heard it, then again you might have not, or if you did, you didn't get it. By getting it, I mean if I'm not going too fast, but you didn't get the point, you got the shaft. Well, that's the way it goes, so row that boat down the stream against the current, that's your own little moat. There's land in sight, so wiggle and wiggle overboard into the creek. We use that little pedal and oh, baby, if we're all completely nuts, but none of us are crazy. Keep tugging at the yoke, keep it going for broke, way outside of that inside.
And of course, that was Little Tom. Inside joke. He did a lot of songs that you can't play on the radio, unfortunately, because I'd love to play some of his tunes on the radio, and I think there was only one out of all of them that didn't have a curse word in it, at least one anyway. And that's all it takes to disqualify it from radio play. I wish a lot of these artists would learn that. There's another group out there, and I've played them on here, and I've played them on the radio, with the Asylum Street Spankers. And it just seems that, their music is really clever, but none of it's radio safe. Or not none of it, because they actually came out with two albums specifically from, everybody complaining, hey, we love your music, but we can't play it on the radio. Finally they came out with two different albums. One's called God's Favorite Band, and that's a collection of tongue-in-cheek gospel music. And then there's another one called God's Favorite Sampler, where they took a lot of their songs and made a radio edit of them. So on those two CDs, we could play anything on there. And, it's just, I think some of these artists, for the sake of being, artistic or whatever, they throw in curse words. A lot of podcasters do that too. I'll throw one in every now and again when it's appropriate, but, my every other word isn't a F-bomb on my podcasts. And that's by design. Of course, I don't talk that way in real life either. So, I guess better things, and when in broadcasting, you're always taught that if there's a microphone in the room, treat it as it being on, and speak accordingly. Although I have to say, our station manager doesn't quite abide by that. But whatever. And I'm not offended by cussing or anything like that to a certain point. Now, sometimes it gets a little ridiculous, but that wasn't what I really wanted to talk about, is it? So anyway, the thing I was going to talk about, the plan I've got starting on Monday, is all diets and other things like that are. Well, I'm going to start a little early. Usually it happens either on Monday or on January 1st, but I've got to change my lifestyle a bit when it comes to enjoying adult beverages and eating. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I am a type 2 diabetic and haven't really been doing what I've supposed to do. And, not that I've had any ill effects yet, but I want to avoid them. So after this weekend, this being Friday, of course, you always have big plans on Friday, and when Monday rolls around, you change them. But now, as of Monday, I'm going to start really getting on the straight and narrow with that. And I scheduled a session of diabetic education for here, I don't know, just before Christmas, I guess. So the eating part, I'm going to, slowly get into. I don't know if you knew, my wife had the bariatric surgery here, I don't know, a month and a half ago or whatever. So she's getting her stuff together. And so I'm doing the same, only a couple of months late. But, get back on the meds. And see, the problem with the medication is you can't drink a lot when you're doing it. And not that I sit here and drink a lot, but I like to, when I do drink, I like to drink a bunch. Well, not a bunch. I wouldn't call it a binge drink or anything like that, but, to the point where, if you're on these meds, you can have 2 beers, but you can't have the whole 6-pack. Well, I kind of like to, when I do drink, drink the whole 6-pack. So, like I said, don't do that all the time, and I'll still be able to imbibe a little bit. But that's one of the things I'm going to drastically reduce my alcohol intake. Although, I'm just a beer drinker, never got into wine or spirits too much anyway. I guess I did a little bit when I was in Iceland. That Icelandic vodka is really good stuff, by the way. And they made Heineken there. Heineken's a Dutch beer, but they actually had a Heineken brewery in Reykjavik, Iceland. I think they still do. I think it's mainly because the availability of aluminum up there. But anyway, going off on a tangent here. So that's my thing for, starting on Monday. I'm going to only drink once a week, and when I do drink, I'll have 2 beers with dinner or something like that, and just get on the straight and narrow. Shouldn't be a really hard thing to do, but that way I can take the meds that I'm supposed to take for the diabetic situation and start getting more exercise. The weather hasn't really been conducive for taking my walks, but, I do take a few here and there. And so, like I said, I'm going to cut back on eating fast food. I'm doing a bit of that. Since I've become self-employed, it's just too darn easy to jump in the car and run up to McDonald's or Burger King or whatever and eat junk. Although, stuff over there is not bad. It's just not good for you. At least that's what they tell me. So I tend to believe it, I guess. We'll see. I'll let you know how it goes. But anyway, so that's the big thing I'm starting. Like I said, once I get done with these classes at the college, I've got a whole list of projects that I need to get done and get going on some of these money makers, some more of them anyway. And that'll help the cause, because being self-employed, the more time you screw around with non-money making things, you don't make as much money. So far, that hasn't been a big problem, but it could be coming up if I don't get on the stick here. So that's what I'm doing. As soon as I'm done with these classes, I've got, probably another 2 weeks of classes, and should pass all my classes just fine. I got a big writing project to do here towards the end, and as long as I get those 2 big projects done and get everything squared away, I'll take the semester off, and then I'll probably just take one class at a time, just things that I want to take. I was going to go ahead and finish a degree that I had started, and then I got to thinking about it. Well, really, what is that degree going to do for me? It's just going to give me another piece of paper to hang on the wall. Although I did take, the 2 classes that I took this semester were prerequisite courses for that degree. I also had to take all those before I could take any of the stuff I wanted to take. So, that's the way it goes with college and all that. And, at my age, I guess college is probably not something I need to finish, but, I might. It depends. But, I want to take some marketing courses and, some things that are more directly related to what I'm doing. So that's the educational plan. Let's see, still on hiatus with a couple of my podcasts, which I will resume here. I've got probably, this weekend, tomorrow, I'm going to be finishing up the studio here. I've got, I'm kind of doing it from one end to the other. The one end of the room is where the computer is and the audio studio and all that set up and the ham radio stuff. And that's all at one end of the room. And I got that all put together. Now I got a big area rug I got to put down for echo. Of course, you don't hear it too much in my audio here because I'm running it through a limiter gate, noise gate thing. I don't know what you call it. Compressor limiter gate. And that pretty much does away with any of the room noise, along with of course, this PR40 microphone, which is really good at rejecting stuff that you don't want into the recording. But the other end of the room is going to be a video studio. Got a green screen and lighting. And I'm going to have a bar stool. That's, when I'm in front of that, I'm going to be sitting on that. I'll use my Kindle as my script for the scripted show that I do, the Aviation History This Week. And I'll have a virtual set behind me with a another green screen for the, in the video processing. And then I'll show pictures of all the stuff I talk about rather than just hearing it in audio. So I have both. I have an audio and a video version of that. Geek of the North, I also want to do on video. Unfortunately for us audio podcasters, video is popular. I'm not going to say it's more popular because really, you're likely listening to this on an iPod or in your car through your stereo or, somewhere where you're not staring at a screen. You're cleaning the house or taking a walk or a bike ride or jogging or at the gym. I don't know. I don't know my audience that well, but you might be going to the gym, but anyway. That'd be fun. Hey, just for the hell of it, email me, mike@mikedell.com, and tell me where you're listening to this. I'd be interested to hear where it is that you listen to my type of content. Like I said, the Geek of the North and retro tech and all that's going to, that's a whole different audience, but I'm sure if you're listening to the Radio Mike Dell feed, you get all that too. But it's all different. But I was, thinking about it, video, you gotta kind of do it. But so anyway, I'll have the video set up. Should work out pretty slick. I got all the good software and the technology, and get to learn how to do chroma key. It's the fancy name for green screening, and learn a little bit more about lighting and the thing about, geez, boy, I go off on tangents, don't I? Having the area rug down here instead of the tile floor that's here now is because I'm going to be using a lavalier microphone on the video side, and for the audio versions of the two podcasts, I'm going to do video. So I want to cut down a little bit on the room echo, and that should turn out all right. The little room down here is, not huge. It's I think I figured it out. It was maybe 120 square feet, something like that, and it's kind of long and skinny. So it'll work out nice. I have the video on one end, the audio on the other, and the only bad thing about it is I got to run the audio through the same mixer board. So I'm gonna have have a long cord for my lavalier. Either that or I'll get a wireless mic set up. Maybe I'll do that. I'll have to look on Amazon. I suspect with Christmas coming up, I'll end up with some Amazon gift cards. Tends to be something that I end up with every year. So maybe it'll work out. I'll get a wireless mic set up. That'll be probably a little more convenient. Sorry for the hack there. But yeah, I kind of look forward to it. I want to do some video rants. When I get a topic in mind, I'd love to be able to just come down here, flip on the lights, flip on the camera, sit down on my stool and rant, and then throw it out as a YouTube video and or throw it into the video feed. I'll do both, of course, but just to get some of these rants and other things. I want to do some how-to videos. A lot of people have a lot of trouble with technology, as you know, and there's other people out there doing it, but I'm kind of branding myself as the online technology coach on my business card. And I figure, have a blog with some video how-tos and some audio how-tos and some screencasts and whatnot of just various things that the average person, not necessarily somebody that's in the new media space, although that'll be some of it because, I do a lot of work with podcasters, other podcasters, getting things set up, and bloggers, getting WordPress set up. Kind of the back end stuff. I'm not really a designer. As you can tell from all my websites, they're minimally designed and all that, but that's the other thing. When you do a how-to video for YouTube, I'd like to first sit in front of the camera and introduce it, and then go into a screen podcast video of whatever I'm showing them, and or showing in the videos. And I got a couple other ideas for business generation like that. But I figure give away some of the good stuff, and maybe get a few clients out of that deal. But getting people set up on technology. I mean, seriously, just to watch TV nowadays, you gotta be technically savvy, or at least have some sort of coaching or training. Not that you have to pay for it, but you know what I mean. My wife wants to watch TV. She's got it figured out for the basics, but say she wants to watch something on Roku. Well, all right, you got to push this button. Then you go to that input source. You got to blah 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 blah. And there's all this stuff that the average person. I mean, just a plain old HD TV. If you're watching off air, it's not so bad. Except now instead of just having channel 7, you got channel 7.1.2. And in some areas, 3, 4, and 5. So you got 5 channels on that one TV channel, which is just, hard for people to wrap their head around. And I kind of want to demystify some of that. A lot of people get computers and then they want to do this and they want to do that. And the computer manufacturers and software manufacturers all say, this is really easy. It's easy. Yeah, we make it easy. Well, you know what? As I've said 100 times before, it isn't easy. No matter what you want to do, it's not always easy. And it is easy to the guy that developed the thing, and it's easy for, us geeks. No problem. I can figure out most things fairly easily, but then to teach, somebody that's not tech savvy or has never owned a computer before, just the matter of clicking the mouse, right click versus a left click, or click and drag. It took me a long time to get my dad trained up on how to drag things around with his mouse, and that's all fine and good. Somebody that's never been around this stuff, it is kind of crazy. So, but most of them can get on the web, and most of them can find YouTube videos and do Google searches and Yahoo searches. That's the other thing. Why is it that, and when I say old people, I mean that in quotes. It has nothing to do with age, but tends to be the seniors that do this. But I swear, every person I've ever went to their house to help them with a computer issue, if they're over the age of 60, they got their homepage set to Yahoo. And if they've got an email address that's not their ISP's email address, which, by the way, hint, don't use your ISP's email, because if you change ISPs, you got to change email. How about getting a Gmail account? But anyway, a lot of them get Yahoo accounts. The heck? No wonder Yahoo's still around, but it's barely still around. But, anyway, I digress. Gmail is way better, and I highly recommend it for everybody, but it's neither here nor there. But one of the things that I've come up with is when somebody approaches me, and, I have family members and friends of family members of friends and friends of friends and so on and so forth, contact me, say, hey, I'm thinking about buying a computer. What should I get? And I ask them a few basic questions, but most of the time, I just want to get, do Facebook and look at pictures and, just kind of surf the web, when someone tells me a web address, I want to go to that. And, I might want to do a little online banking, do, little this, little that, watch some YouTube videos, whatever. And if that's all they say they want to do, I say, well, are you stuck on getting a computer? I would say get an iPad. Now, I know you've heard me say that I have no use for an iPad, although I have actually found a couple uses for one. I don't have one yet. But anyway, found a couple uses for them. the thing I'm telling people now is just get an iPad 3G. Okay, you're going to spend about the same amount of money as you would on a reasonably good laptop. So you're going to spend $600-$700 on an iPad 3G, and then you're going to pay the $30 a month for data, which I think that's pretty much universal between AT&T, and I think you can get less on AT&T, but you get what you pay for. But on average $30. Well, that's what you're going to pay for cable modem. You're going to pay a little less than that for DSL, but for most people, a data plan on a 3G would probably be the thing, and plus it still has Wi-Fi. So if you're in a spot that has Wi-Fi, you can use that. But that's what I've been recommending. And what's great about that is now you don't need the computer at all. I mean, I bring my laptop and, set the thing up for them on the laptop, but you don't even need to do that anymore. Everything you can do it right on the iPad. Well, the great thing about that is you get your email set up through Gmail. I help people with that. You get it set up through Gmail. It comes in the email app on the iPad, or you just go to the website. But by the way, I don't recommend the Gmail app for iPad. Looks pretty lame to me. I haven't played with it much because I don't have an iPad, but on the iPads that I have played with, I'm not impressed. But you get your email set up there. So you got your email, you got a camera on the thing, or you got two cameras on the thing. You can do FaceTime chat with other people that have Apple products. You got Skype. You can do video chat with Skype through an iPad now. And it works really good. Well, I don't know the iPad one. I've got an iPod Touch with, the newest one with the dual cameras and whatnot. And, so it's kind of the iPad Nano. So, I know what they can do. But what's really cool about that is, okay, now they got this one little thing. They don't have to worry about, the cable company, cable modem, a router, this and that. And for what most people do, that's fine. Now somebody that, that's going to watch a ton of YouTube videos or stream Netflix or something, well, then, okay, yeah, get the cable modem and a router and get the Wi-Fi iPad, But I've steered a few people that way, and a couple of them have taken my advice and done quite well with it. And the nice thing about that is, you wear the thing out, and it or whatever, or it gets old, or you lose interest in it. You're not out, $1,000, and you're not, everybody thinks the iPad's expensive, but look at what a computer costs. A decent one. Yeah, you can get a $300 computer, but you get a $300 computer for that. So it is what it is, and you don't have to deal with Windows. And like I said, I'm not OS crazy. I'm not a Mac fanboy, but I'm beginning to be that way. Not because I think Mac is inherently better. It's the software. The OS X is so much more user friendly than Windows is. It's still, not as easy as they say, but certainly more user friendly, which is, it's a good thing. And, and I haven't spent any time worrying about viruses. I haven't spent any time, trying to fix things on the Mac here since I've had it. And I absolutely love it. But, like I said, most people can get away with an iPad. But, if they insist on a computer, I try to steer them towards a Mac. And if not, all right, Windows 7, it's way better than any other previous Windows machine. But the thing I don't particularly like about it is the manufacturers, they put all this crapware on it. Of course, we've talked about that before too. So, lately I've had to fix a couple of laptops that were getting really, really slow and whatnot. And I just put, I bought a copy of Windows 7 for it, and and a clean copy from Microsoft. I put that on there. That way that doesn't have all the crapware. I load Windows, what is it called? Microsoft Security Essentials. There we go. So you got the antivirus and spyware stuff more or less covered. And then I give them some instructions. I say, if the thing ever pops up and says your computer's infected, don't, and a couple people I've just said, if that ever pops up, hit the power button and hold it until the thing goes off, and then restart your computer, and don't go back to wherever that thing popped up, because, that is the biggest scam going right now. I had a friend call me in a panic. She clicked on yes, clean my computer, and then they wanted $75, and her computer was a brick until she paid the $75. I don't believe she did. And hopefully she got that cleaned off, but man, oh man, it's something else. But I want to help people avoid that kind of thing along, being the online technology coach. That way I can do that. I think I am going to actually develop that website and blog. So I want to get found in Google and on YouTube. So anyway, that's the whole idea behind the studio redesign. Is some of the goals I want to do, to help people. That's the main thing. I really do want to help people avoid the frustration, or like the person that has the little netbook or laptop and takes 8 million pictures and never backs anything up. Come on, you got to back stuff up. Because, when the hard drive on that little laptop goes bye-bye, which it will, you're kind of screwed. And for a while, I was advertising for carbonite. I haven't been lately. But I fully believe that you need to get something like that. Carbonite's one of them. There's a lot of them out there. I use carbonite. And the other thing, with Facebook, a lot of people put all their pictures on Facebook. So I guess, you'll always have some version of it up there on Facebook. But you can also, do Flickr, Picasa. I prefer Picasa just because it's so tied in with Google. And I tend to... as I said, I'm not really an Apple fanboy, but I think I am a Google fanboy. But, it just, it all ties in with that. And, same thing with, if you have an iPhone and that's what you use for pictures, now with iCloud, all your pictures get shared around to various places. So it's not likely you're going to lose them all. That goes back to something, and I'm going to mention this on Retro Tech, talk about it, but, back in the day, when before the internet and when computers were just getting started in the 60s, 70s, everybody had a mainframe. You go into an office and there'd be, one big room full of electronics, and then there'd be terminals on everybody's desk. And they called them dumb terminals. And there was a reason they were dumb terminals, because that's all they did. They were, a keyboard and a monitor, and it talked to the mainframe. And you did all your computing in the other room, in the mainframe. Well, we're kind of coming full circle, because, in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, we were pretty much running everything on the desktop, except for the internet. And, most of the internet was just, let's go look at this gee whiz stuff on the internet. And slowly but surely, everything's starting to move back to a central computer or the cloud. But it's a very similar scenario to what was going on back, at the beginning of computers. You just rented time on a computer and dialed in on a modem a lot of times, with your dumb terminal with a modem on it. Or if you were in an office situation, like I said, it was a big computer in the other room and you were hooked to the terminals or hooked up with the terminals. Back around somewhere, I have an old VT52 terminal. It was for an IBM mainframe. And the only reason I had that was for ham radio. You could take the output of that, or input-output of that terminal, plug it directly into a serial port on a little box called a TNC, basically a radio modem, and you didn't need a computer. And at the time, computers were expensive, and these VT52s were being thrown out or given away or sold for $5 at Hamfest. So, like I said, it's coming around full circle, and that's what makes things like the iPad or an iPhone or an Android phone or Android Pad, for that matter, or the new Kindle Fire or Nook Color, Nook tablets, whatever. Makes those useful because you don't need a lot of computing power to do what you need to do. And same thing with hard drive space. Have you noticed? That isn't such a big deal anymore. I mean, yeah, we've got 2 terabyte drives, probably got 3 terabyte drives. I don't know. I haven't paid attention, but really, I got a Mac laptop that, I've been meaning to upgrade, but then with all of these cloud services, there's really no need to upgrade it. It's got a 160 gig hard drive. Well, when the hard drive goes, of course, I'll get something bigger just because it's all that's available. But for the most part, I don't store a lot of stuff on the computer. Like now with making these podcasts and stuff, I store these files, get stored locally on the computer. But then, of course, they go up to a server. So technically, I could get rid of them locally. And, probably will at some point. But, I got a terabyte drive. But this is a production machine. I do audio and video work on it. So I do need some space. But on my laptop, I might do the occasional audio work on it. But that's about it. The rest of the time I'm surfing the web or, everything I do is pretty much web-based. So I really wouldn't need that. I could probably get away with an iPad. But, yeah, I digress. Jeez, talking about tech too much. I should save this for my techie shows. So anyway, I guess I've been blabbing along enough. I just, like I said, wanted to update you, get something out here in the feed, see what was, going on. And let you know what was going on. Hopefully I didn't sound too terrible with this cold, and hopefully the audio setup's okay. Like I said, I had to move things around. Actually, the way I got it hooked up now, I don't have that buzz in the background I've had, which is nice. So I don't have to do as much processing after the fact. So anyway, I'm going to call this a podcast, get it uploaded, get it in the feed. Going to be meeting a couple friends tonight for Friday night solving the world's problem session. I don't know, probably go to either Hooters or Chili's or one of those places, and that'll be fun. Always enjoy that kind of stuff. Hopefully, this will be, like I said, my last big weekend of eating badly and drinking too much. So I'm not planning on drinking too much, but you know what I mean. So next week, Friday, I'll have to get the salad or something. I'm not going to do that either, but be reasonable about it. So with that, it's a podcast. Catch me later.